All right, welcome. Today we're digging into something you probably see everywhere, fasting. But what if I told you that one of the biggest trends in modern wellness is actually a profound echo of ancient spiritual wisdom, a forgotten conversation between our bodies and something, well, something much bigger? Okay, let's just jump right in. When we talk about fasting today, what comes to mind? Biohacking, detoxing, weight loss, right? It's all about self-improvement and optimizing the body. But if you look back, it was a whole different ballgame. It was about penance, purification, prayer, a deep, profound act of self-emptying. Two very different worlds. So to really get this shift, we've got to rewind the clock. We're going to see how fasting wasn't just a health choice. For a huge part of Western history, it was essential spiritual technology, a way the physical body could actually have a conversation with the divine. And for centuries, this wasn't some fad diet you'd try for a month. It was a constant, predictable rhythm woven right into the calendar. You see it in the earliest Christian documents, with the Desert Fathers, in monastic life. It was just part of the steady pulse of life. It really wasn't until the 20th century that this ancient rhythm started to fade away. And this is so crucial to understand. The goal was never, ever about dieting. The physical act of fasting was seen as absolutely essential for spiritual receptivity. Think about it. It wasn't about emptying your stomach to lose weight. It was about emptying your body to make it a ready vessel for a mystical experience. So why? Why was this physical act so important? What was the big idea behind it all? Well, the answer is kind of mind-bending. It lies in a really profound theological concept that sees hunger not as a problem to be solved, but as a space just waiting to be filled. At the very heart of this ancient practice is this one Greek word, kenosis. It means self-emptying. And the logic behind it was both simple and incredibly powerful. By voluntarily creating physical emptiness in your body, you were, at the same time, creating spiritual space in your soul for grace to come rushing in. And this wasn't just about personal growth. No, this was seen as cosmic. The early church fathers, guys like St. Irenaeus, they believed the first sin in the Garden of Eden began with an act of improper eating. So they saw fasting as a direct reversal of that mistake, a way to participate in fixing the original problem through an act of obedience. Okay, now this is where things get absolutely fascinating. Because fast forward to today, and modern science has started to validate the very states of being these ancient traditions were chasing all along. The lab is, kind of amazingly, confirming the wisdom of the monastery. For thousands of years, you had mystics and monks, all reporting the same thing. Fasting leads to this incredible lucid clarity and a deep inner stillness. They felt it sharpened their spiritual attention, as the Desert Fathers put it. And for a long, long time, that was just seen as a subjective spiritual claim, Good for them. But it turns out, we now have the neurological data to back them up. Fasting literally changes your brain chemistry. It boosts proteins that help you focus. It actually quiets down the noisy, emotionally reactive parts of your brain. It even resets the connection between your gut and your mind, which has a huge impact on your mood. Science is basically showing us that fasting produces the exact states of clarity and calm the mystics were talking about all along. And the parallels don't stop at the brain, not even close. There's a Nobel Prize-winning discovery that gives us this stunning biological mirror to the ancient idea of spiritual purification. It's a process called autophagy, which is just Greek for self-eating. When we fast, our cells literally start to clean house. They go around, they identify their own old, damaged junk parts, and they recycle them into new, healthy components. It's basically a Lenten cycle happening on a molecular level. The body empties itself of what is broken to become renewed. Just amazing. So this all brings us to a final, and I think really crucial question. It forces us to put the modern and ancient views of fasting side by side and ask ourselves, what does it really mean to be healthy, to be truly whole? Just look at the difference here. Modern wellness loves to call itself holistic, right? But its focus is usually just on the body and mind, and the goal is self-improvement. But the ancient sacramental view was arguably way more holistic. It included the body, the soul, and the spirit. And the goal wasn't to perfect yourself, but to offer yourself. The entire question changed from how can I make myself better to how can I unite with something greater than myself?
So, at the end of the day, these ancient traditions were working from a completely different blueprint of what it means to be a human being. They understood that the body's health ultimately follows the soul's orientation. They believed that no amount of physical fine tuning could ever truly heal a spiritual sickness.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought to chew on. Maybe our modern obsession with fasting and detoxes and biohacking, maybe it's not just another health trend. Maybe it's an echo, a sign of a deeper spiritual hunger, a sign that our bodies still remember a sacred rhythm that our modern culture has tried very, very hard to forget.